Hey gang, Aaron Fisher here with another episode of the Card Magic Minute. This is my chance to share with you some of the profound lessons about card magic my students are learning every week when they work with me during the course of my online personal training program. I want to start this week by doing a small apology up front because this particular Card Magic Minute may sort of appear like some sort of rant. But I have to just apologize in advance and say, hey, I'm sorry. I really want you to do good card magic, and that's how it is. So here we go. I threw out a tweet and a Facebook post last week asking how many of my friends, so many social network friends, how many of them use a checklist when they're learning a new sleight. And I was scandalized by the answers I got. Mostly answers were like, no, don't need one, don't care, it's not important to me, or yeah, sometimes I use a checklist, especially if a move's got 2 or 3 different steps or things I need to keep in mind in it. And I was shocked and appalled. I wish when I was a beginner that I used a checklist because I would have learned a whole heck of a lot faster than I did. The other day I started with a new student who was a very good note taker because he used to be a professor. My student's name is Everly, and he sent me his notes, and it was a very simple checklist, just like the one we were talking about, because we spoke about how important it is to make a checklist when you're learning a new sleight. So a checklist should have on it the following pieces of information, everybody. Every single detail you can think of that's important to the execution of the sleight. So that's details about finger position, hand position, body position, where things move, when they move, and which new details about finger position, hand position, and body position come up or need to be remembered and thought about at each and every step along the way. So his first checklist on dealing position was very, very simple, and I'll just read it off the way I did when we were talking about it together. Thumb no further than the front edge of the deck. First finger curled around the front of the deck. Fingers on the right side. In the case of the first finger, the second, the third, and the fourth finger, they shouldn't go any more than a speed bump. If you get up to the joints of any of those fingers, you've gone way too far. Just to reiterate, another point was on the checklist. Make sure that the cards are not in the palm, but resting along the first finger, just like so. So his checklist for dealing position, that's how to hold a deck of cards. Couldn't get any simpler. Had 5 or 6 steps in it. Now, I don't even want to get into right now what a checklist looks like for a proper double lift or double turnover, or heaven help us if you want to learn the pass. If you're learning the pass right now, I challenge you to write down every single detail you can think of and the order that they need to be remembered in, including the actions that you take and the finger positions before and after each and every one of those actions. And I challenge you to do the very best you can. And I'll tell you right now that if your checklist doesn't have 20 to 30 items on it for a move of that type, there's probably not much chance that you're going to be doing the move very well because you're simply not looking at the move in enough detail to really have enough of these salient points in your mind to work with it. Now, over time, as you use your checklist, you won't need it anymore, but it won't be that way for some time because what happens is you sit down on the couch or wherever you like to practice, and as you practice, you're working with the thing and you're playing with new things and you're trying new things, and as that happens, you'll find sometimes the move slides out of whack, something isn't working right, and what's happening is there's 1 or 2 or 3 or more of those details that are written on that checklist that you're not considering. And until you've been doing a move, or at least for the first several moves that you're working on for months or years, you need to keep track of each and every one of those details and make sure you're not omitting anything. Because if you omit one detail and sort of just forget, oh yeah, that third finger can't be bent that way, it has to be bent this way, if you forget that for a couple weeks in between looking at the book, what's going to happen is you're going to be doing several thousand repetitions of the wrong technique, and you're going to be ingraining the very wrong handling of the move directly into your neural pathways and into your muscle memory. So it's very, very important that you use this checklist and you keep it with you. And every time you take the position to learn the technique that you're trying to study, go through that checklist just like an airline pilot getting ready to fly a boatload of people across the ocean, right? And make sure that you are getting each and every single position and direction correct in the exact order you're supposed to go in. Because if there's 20, 30 steps on that piece of paper, believe me, it's going to take a great deal of reinforcement before you start to do them all without thinking, without fail, and without ever omitting anything. That's the end of the rant. Now, you can do this yourself, or if you want, I can help you do it. It's one of the things I like to do the most. So go to aaronfishermagic.com/coaching.htm and fill out a free student profile to let me know more about you and your magic, and I'll get back to you with some ideas of how we can work together. The purpose of my online training program is to provide a safe place for you to grow your magic and get the support and reinforcement you need to make your magic dreams come true. I'm Aaron at Aaron Fisher Magic. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for upcoming episodes of the Card Magic Minute, please email me and let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can email me on Facebook at facebook.com/Aaron Fisher, and I will friend you, or you can follow me on Twitter at Aaron Fisher Card. Thank you so very much for watching, and I do hope to talk with you soon.